Hey guys, you've been asking what's happening with the V8 Miata. Well, it's close. The car is right now running, but not yet driving. We will hopefully see a big fat burnout in the next one. But this video, it's all about how we made a proper exhaust system with a custom long tube headers. For this job, I went to my buddies to Solve Garage. I go there all the time. Not only for the fabrication jobs, but also when my beamers are broken, which is basically all the time. So the first job is to remove the engine on the subframe together with the gearbox, so we can gain the access to the headers. So you can see my prototype headers just so far taped together. It's a super tight fit, so basically it's pie cuts on pie cuts on pie cuts. So it's a really tight fit, so we're making one branch after another and then putting the car up and down to make sure that everything is fit as it should. To make sure all the branches meet in the end nicely in the collector, we clamped them together and built each branch to go there. Then we ripped all the branches from the exhaust and welded them properly. By we, I mean Ludva. We've counted about 100 welds on each side. Of course we had to redo something. You can see there was an issue with the clearance for the steering column. When the branches were done, we tack welded them back onto the flange, and then we welded all together really slowly on the special tool we made. It was just an I-beam with the holes to prevent the warping of the flanges. I was thinking about buying a collector, but there was none in Europe, so we made collectors out of the conic pieces of a tube and then massaged them gently into the place using heat and hammer. Unfortunately, we've miscalculated a bit while making one header, and we had to massage the car a bit, otherwise we had to rework the whole header. Of course, every exhaust needs a O2 sensor. For extra performance, I've massaged the headers from the inside, Every horsepower counts, right? At least that's how it works in Miata world. I've decided to go with the 4 mufflers, with the flaps and the X-pipe. This combination should give the most power and should sound awesome. It was particularly tight fit, especially around the diff and the drive shaft in the back. We modified the fuel filter bracket so we can add a hanger on it, you know, race car design, multiple things at once. We've ended up with 8 hangers overall, 2 solid on the gearbox and then 6 rubber mounted for the back after the flex. We've decided to do also a tailpipes. It's a really nice touch on the end, and guys in the salt garage are making them all the time, so they know what they are doing. That's how they look raw before we polish them. Coincidence, right? It was a time to do a bumper cut, so you can see this beautiful exhaust. It was not the easiest thing, because the rear bumper is everything but flat, so we had to somehow eyeball it. Luckily, Feli stopped by, so he helped me to tape it, you know, so it actually is nice and symmetrical and everything. That was the scary part, to actually cut it the way we taped it. For the maximum power and the best sound, I've decided to go with the flaps to bypass the rear muffler, so it's not doing any silencing when you open them. But there is still some silencing effect from the mid mufflers, you know, so it's not like deafening loud. After some polishing, the exhaust tips came up amazing. We've wrapped not only the headers, but also the midsection around the gearbox, so the heat does not transfer so much into the Miata, which is a pretty common issue. So as you can see, this is total finalizing of the whole exhaust. Headers are wrapped. I've wrapped this part around the gearbox, so my feet are not super warm like always. And we go a bit back. This muffler will probably make a lot of heat too, including the X pipe, but I will sort this out with the heat shield. So yeah, and if you go even more back, now Arnold will hit his head into the lift.
Let's go here.
And it's counter you will see nothing there.
It's okay.
No. So yeah, so it goes around the diff. There will be some clearance issue probably later, which will cut a bit more into the diff. That's totally fine. And it goes here. These two silencers are not connected at all. Yeah, they are just welded together, but they go like this. And there is a flap in the middle, which will control them, you know, the bypass of it. So if the flap is open, the middle muffler should still do the muffling, and it will be like medium loud, not super loud. So we'll see. And the same stuff is happening on the other side, yeah? And it's mounted on pretty solid rubber, so I can be on it and it's still fine. So yeah, let's bleed the clutch, and in a few minutes we should get the parts from the paint shop. So yeah, we'll put them on, and then the car goes back to my garage to finalize it.
That's louder. Wait. Do it now. Wow. Wow. That's so nice.